Welcome to the Authentic Leader podcast. I'm Emad Elsayed. This podcast is about purpose clarity, sustainable motivation, and authentic leadership. Today's topic, we will discuss and unfold why you feel stuck in your career and what career purpose really is, and a simple clarity framework that you can use on your day to day to move forward on your career and your life goals in general. So, let me tell you this, if you feel stuck, it's probably not your motivation, it's your clarity. And clarity does not come from pushing harder, it comes from better questioning and questioning yourself, sitting down and reflecting on who you are, filtering out the noise, understanding your passion, your values, who you are, your whys, and where you strive in, and getting the chance to really move forward on those attributes in order to unleash your full potential. It sounds cliche, but it's so true. Now, let's start with definition of career purpose, because look, I'm an engineer by training. So when people talk to me in the very beginning about career purpose, I didn't really get it. I'm a number guy, I'm shapes, I'm very scientific, very proven, very scientifically proven type of individual. And when people talk to me about purpose, I was like, this is a fluff. But what I found out is the 1% of the 1%, they know, and they are driven by their purpose. They spend time on understanding what their purpose is. So I want to start with, what is career purpose? Career purpose is a direction for contribution, i.e., is understanding your strength, your values, and taking that all together in order to make a meaningful impact in your own definition. And career purpose is not the title, is not the company, is not your LinkedIn title, is not the perfect plan, is not a constant passion. Purpose is not about destination. Purpose is about the compass. Purpose is not the destination. Purpose is the compass. One of my favorite definitions of purpose, and you can look up a lot of different definitions, but the one that stood out for me and I hold dear to my heart is, purpose is the beginning of all achievement. And the way I look at purpose is as if you walk in the forest without a compass. You can live in the forest. You can, eat and drink and live and have a family and whatever. You can decide to live in the forest. But without the compass, you don't know what north, east, and south and west. And if you decide to move forward on any direction in order to get out and do something and explore what else is out there, you need the compass. That is your purpose. And also, I put it differently, is your purpose is as if you are on a bus, and not knowing your purpose is as if you don't know what your destination is. You don't know when you're going to get off the bus. You don't want to be on the bus all the time. Your bus will take you somewhere. So where is that destination? That's how I want you to think and reflect about that. And that would be your first initial thinking about how to define your own purpose. So let's talk about why high performers get stuck. And there are so many different reasons, and I'll give you three ones. The reason high performers get stuck, one is they are chasing external successes, i.e., they are drifting from their internal motivators. So I want to break it down in the first step here into, there are external motivators, there are external motivators. If you are chasing only the external motivators, this is going to be a short-lived. You will achieve those success and you're going to look back and say, what if? That is the problem. If you feel stuck, and this is why after you say, I'm going to set the goal, I'm going to go after it, and you do achieve it, but you still feel stuck because those are external successes and not aligned with your internal motivators. Your internal motivators, think about it, those are your why. And we're going to talk about the why a little bit more in the different episodes. But I want you to think about your why. Those are the internal motivators, meaning who you are as an individual. What are your values? What are your strengths? What can you strive in? And the type of meaningful impact you want to have. That is your why. And those are the internal motivators. So one, why high performers get stuck? They follow external successes and they get drifted, or they drift from their internal motivators or internal successes. Two, you might have too many options, and those options are all creating different noises. And especially if all those options do not align with your purpose. And we'll talk about career alignment and purpose alignment and all that framework later on. But I want to put it simply, if you have so many different options and you are considering all of them and not knowing your purpose, that's a big problem. So when you have so many different options, one, you want to understand what is your purpose, and you pick the option that will get aligned or get you closer to that purpose. So two, why top performers get stuck is having too many options and not really analyzing it correctly. Three, you're probably waiting for certain clarity, or you are waiting for 100% clarity on direction. But you know what? You will never get 100% clarity or confidence on a certain direction. You don't need the full map. You just need a reliable next step. What's interesting about the mind and the brain, and I want to take a second and pause here. We have conscious and subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, those are your feelings, your emotions, all the stored memory, and they are stored, right? Your conscious mind, those are the tip of the iceberg, if you will, right? You only see a little bit, but that is your conscious mind. Your subconscious is actually controls, and the study shows this. 95 to 99% of your day-to-day actions and results and who you are and what you do are all controlled by your subconscious mind. You are here today and you're listening to the podcast, or you are driving, or you are at a certain role in your career, or you are chasing a dream that talks about entrepreneurship, whatever it is, who you are in your life today because of your subconscious mind that controls 95 to 99% of your day-to-day actions. So your subconscious mind can be your best friend, it can be your worst enemy. And there are so many different ways that you can embed the right ingredients in your subconscious mind to use it to your advantage. And we'll have that in a different episode when we talk about visualization, affirmations, and the power of the mind, and understanding some of those tools that I will bring in later on. But my point is this. So a lot of people ask me why top performers get stuck, and I was one of them. One, you're chasing external motivators or external successes. You have so many different options that you are analyzing incorrectly, not knowing which one closer to your purpose or aligned to your purpose. And the third is I am waiting, or you are waiting, or everybody's waiting for certainty and 100% clarity, but you won't. That's why you want to move on with one reliable next step. And the reason is this: if you understand what the next step is and you move, you are sending signals to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind will take that as a win. And guess what? It will formulate the plan for the following step. And it will formulate the motivation that you need to move forward on that goal. That's why you cannot wait for a complete plan. You want to you want to move on just a reliable next step. So now I want to talk about the framework that you can use in order to get purpose clarity and move forward on your goal. And it's actually a subset of the major framework that I discussed in my webinar in great details. The main framework is the authentic leader framework or blueprint framework, and it ties to the purpose alignment. And we talk about that in great details, but just to sum it up, part of that is clarity breakthrough framework. That is what we're going to discuss now. And that it's like you trying to understand who you are and the right environment that you can strive in and the right goal that you will align with, but actually deep. And it's actually based on psychological sciences, coaching methodologies, a lot of coaching and books and methods that I had to study and my business partners had to study. And we came up with three simple steps that you can do today. So pick up your pen and write that down. Step one is your energy, i.e., that's what pulls you. That's your pull. Figure out what work energizes you. Second question, what problems do you naturally move toward? What are those things that you would actually get, acclimated to, or you naturally get, pulled toward to go solve? What those problems? So that's number one, your energy. right? What energizes you? What those problems that you move into that you can naturally move forward toward. The second step is your strength, and I call it that's the proof. What do people rely on you for? If somebody's coming to you, they're coming to you for what type of skill set, i.e., your strength. And also think about it as what create consistent results. What had consistently created a lot of results for you in the past. Think about those as your strengths. Understanding those strengths, and sometimes we take them for granted. And that's why I'm not telling you sit down and write down your strength. I'm telling you, think about it as when people approach you and people rely on you, why they rely on you for? Because they do see that strength that you don't see. And the second question, what creates consistent result for you? I don't want you to think about something that happened 1 or 2 months or 3 months. No, I want you to think about the different patterns throughout your life or throughout your career. What create the consistency that give you the right results? Those are your strengths. So step two, understand your strength and write that down. Three is your people, meaning the impact that you want to have. And your impact has to be bigger than your needs, has to be bigger than you. The bigger impact, the bigger the pull, the bigger results, the bigger motivation. So, step three is your impact. Who are the people that you want to impact positively by that work, by those strengths? So, think about it in two different questions. One, who benefits from your best work? Second question, what impact do you want to make or do you want to be known for certain people? So those are the three different folds that I want you to think about. One, energy. Two, strength. Three, impact. And clarity is essentially the overlap and is the sum of your energy and your strength and your impact. What gives you the energy? What type of strengths that you have? Who you are as an individual? And the third one, what natural impact that you want to make and who are those people are. If you put them all together, that will give you a little bit more clarity on your purpose or your career purpose. And I uncover a lot of these different results or different steps, if you will. But for the sake of the few minutes that we're spending together here in the podcast, I would bring a lot of those frameworks and all the steps for you to just to give you some tactical steps that you can implement every single day. Those are the ones I'm going to be sharing with you. Now, if you talk about results, I was successful on paper and I have experienced what I was telling you about earlier. I'm an electrical engineer by training, graduated second in my class, worked in the Fortune 500 companies. I got in their leadership programs. I got promoted throughout my career. I raised my hand. I went to get my MBA from Tabar School of Business at Carnegie Mellon. I got a master in public policy. I worked in two different startups. I was doing great work and I was living the dream, I think, or I thought. I got out of business school. I worked for Fortune 500 company, and I got promoted to manager, to a senior manager, became director, and I had the global teams, and I was managing global operations up to $250 million worth of operations. And I had a great team working for me, and we're doing turnaround the whole business. And then I got into executive leadership programs in those Fortune 500 companies. And from that, I got to work on a strategy, on commercial, and I touched a lot of different lives in a positive way and the work that I was doing. But you know what? 5 years ago, I had all these successes, but I still felt empty and I still felt drifted and I felt there was something missing until I sat down and I understood. And that was right before the COVID. And everybody sat down and reflected. I had any surgery, so unfortunately, I had to sit down and slow down and reflect on who I am and my work and my value and my results. And this is where I stumbled upon a lot of the work that made me a certified career and a life coach. And I've worked with hundreds of professionals and I've seen tons of results. But all that manifested and it started from me sitting down and reflecting on my purpose. And if I wanted to sum it up, those are the three areas that we spoke about earlier. But now, understanding that framework and going through that clarity breakthrough framework that I spoke about, that takes, you can start, and then I'm encouraging you start today. Spend a few minutes, write down some of these answers, and take a step at it today. And that will be the first step toward your career clarity. It will take you after that days to fine tune some of these results, and there might be weeks. In my case, it took me months, but I was able to open a door for me that will give me fulfillment in my career and positive impact and unleash my full potential. And that's the reason I'm talking to you today, because I want to make sure you understand some of the stuff that took me years of investment, time and money, and wasted effort. Not wasted effort, because I learned a ton, but I want to give you not even a shortcut, but I want to give you the bottom line of a lot of things that you can use on your day to day. So think about your career purpose as a journey, and you're taking a step today by going through these questions that we spoke about in order to move forward on your journey. And once you do that, and once you go through that minor, small framework that we spoke about, your decision making will be more accurate, because you'll start evaluating roles or entrepreneurship opportunities or different industries based on who you are and which is the right compass and the right lens to look through. Now, there are 3 steps also that I want you to do. And step 1 is to draft a simple purpose statement. Purpose statement is 3 pieces: who you are, the type of work that brings value to you, and the people you want to serve. Simple. Make it 2 line and write it down. And believe me, you'll be surprised with what you see. And leave it closer to your eye, because you later on you can refine it. Later on to refine it. But write something down today. Whenever you read in this podcast, here in this podcast, take a step at this question, because it will help you start moving your mind in the right direction. There is no perfect answer for that, 1 sentence purpose statement. Oh, this is, all or nothing. No, this is your exercising a muscle that you haven't been exercising, which is the muscle of the mind, the muscle of the purpose, and the muscle of becoming the 1% of the 1% that most of us do not learn in school. I did not learn in all of my education until I became a certified coach, and I understood there is a much greater power and things we can do with our mind. But long story short, step 1, write 2 sentences about your purpose statement. 2, I want you to do an energy audit. Understand what drains you and what energizes you. Come up with a list. What are the things from a career perspective or even life perspective that gives you energy, and the things that will drain your energy? And the third thing is, we want to run a clarity experiment, i.e., I want you to go have a conversation with someone that you know and tell them, hey, I think this is who I am, this is the type of work I would love to do, those are the people I would love to serve. But those people have to know you a little bit more than just on a shallow, meaning they've worked with you for quite some times, or maybe your spouse or somebody in your family. But have that conversation, tell them this is what I'm finding out, and hear the feedback, because those are the external people that see, right? And don't have that one conversation, have multiple conversations. Or pick up a project, pick up a small project to test and see if these lists that you came up with actually drains your energy or fuels your energy or energize you. Pick up a project, pick up a small project, and exercise and test and validate that. Because once you get closer to that clarity and to the answer, you will know what is the right next step for you from a career perspective. Is it a new industry? Is it a new job in a different company? Is it an entrepreneurial path? Is it the same job? Is it in the same industry, in the same company, but actually expanding your horizon, and getting a little bit more growth and growing in that direction? Those 3 different steps will help you get a little bit more clear on that next step. Okay? So I know you're going to do the work. That's why you listen to this podcast. 2-sentence purpose statement, energy audit, and 3, run the experiment through conversations, or pick up a small project, or even take a skill test, a Myers-Briggs, or any other career assessment, and see if that matches with your answers, what you're finding out. Again, it's a journey. You're taking a step toward the answer. And if you want a step-by-step help in understanding your purpose clarity and understand how to get promoted or change your jobs or change an industry or starting your own venture, sign up to my webinar. You will see a link underneath the episode somewhere on the screen, and I go through the great details. So out of those 60 to 90 minutes webinar, you will walk away with a plan on how to get promoted, change your job, or change your industry, or start your own venture. And if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube or our podcast channel so you can hear more of this as we move forward. I appreciate you listening in, and I'm excited to start sharing with you some of the learning. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Thank you.